ब्रह्मानंद भारती श्री रूप सनातन रघुनाथ वैद्य शिवानंद नारायण अद्वैत अद्वैतेर ज्येष्ठ पुत्र श्री अच्युतानंद वाणीनाथ शिकी माहिती आदि भक्तवृंद अनंत चैतन्य भृत्य कत जानी नाम की छोट की बड़ सबे करीला पयान. So here we have seen the last class that Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya, Jagadananda Pandit, Kashi Mishra, Swarupa Damodar, Sri Shankara Pandit, Kashishwara Pandita, Bhagwan Acharya, Sri Pradyumna Mishra, Paramananda Puri, Ramananda Rai, the Lord's pious doorkeeper Govinda, Brahmananda Bharati, Sri Rupa and Sanatana, Raghunath Vaidya, Shivananda Pandit, Narayana Pandit, then Sri Achyutananda, the eldest son of Advaita, Vaninatha, Shiki Mahiti, and innumerable other topmost devotees, both prominent and obscure, whose names are not uh, unknown to me, all forgot everything and joyfully went with the Lord to greet the devotees. So Achyutananda was more advanced in devotional service to Vishnu than the other sons of Advaita. The other sons were not advanced in their devotional service. So there has been a mention of Achyutananda. So we can see who Achyutananda is if So Achyutananda is Achyuta Gopi and Kartikeya. So Achyutananda, the son of Advaita Acharya, he is the partial incarnation of Achyuta Gopi and Kartikeya. Similarly, we have got one more son, Krishna Mishra, who is completely Kartikeya, and Gopala is Ganesha. So the next verse. परमानंदे सबे चलीले न प्रभु संगे भाय दृष्टि भाय ज्ञान नाही कारो अंगे. They all went with the Lord in great ecstasy. They had neither external vision nor external consciousness. So they were all deeply engrossed in welcoming the devotees to Puri Dham. So they all had went along with the Lord. Yeah. Okay, I think the screen sharing has been stopped. I'll just reshare. Yeah. Okay. So they all traveled with the Lord to welcome the devotees who were coming from Navadvipa to Puri Dham. Shri Advaita Simha Sarva Vaishnava Sahite Asiyami Leela Prabhu Athara Nalate. The lion-like Sri Advaita Acharya and his group of Vaishnavas met the Lord's group at Atharanala. So as we have seen in the last class, Lord had sent the Prasad, Jagannath Prasad, much ahead of the group because the group got their Prasad when the group had reached Katak. So Lord was informed that Advaita Acharya is going to come, and he sent his prasad, he sent Jagannath Prasad much before, so that the group is properly fed right at Katak. प्रभु ओ आइला नरेंद्र आगुन आगुयाना दुई गोष्ठी देखा देखी हैल विद्यमान. When the Lord passed by Narendra Sarovar, he saw the two groups meet. So we have seen in the last class as well that in Narendra Sarovar they had played a lot of water sports. Sorry. दूरे देखी दुई गोष्ठी अन्योन्ये सब दंडवत हई सब पड़ीला वैष्णव. When the two groups of devotees saw each other from a distance, they all fell flat and offered obeisances to each other. So by the behavior of Lord's associates, especially in Chaitanya Leela, he is teaching us how to be. It's a practical guide of how to be a devotee. As you have seen, the moment we see a Vaishnava, whether the Vaishnava be 100 or 200 meters away, the moment we see a Vaishnava, we have to offer our obeisances as a sign of respect. So we see that here the devotees also offered each other dandavat from a distance. and they all fell flat offered and by offering obeisances. Even in as in the yesterday's class we have seen Mataji was giving a class on Anantalavar. So in the Sri Vaishnava Parampara as well, the moment we see the danda of a sannyasi, so if the sannyasi is very far away, and if we are able to see the sannyas danda of the sannyasi, we have to offer our obeisances wherever, in whichever condition we are, we have to offer our obeisances. So it's just true for all the sampradayas, not just one sampradaya. All sampradayas, they offer obeisances to each other because they see that because Vaishnavas are very very pious and humble. दूरे अद्वैतेर देखी श्री वैकुंठ नाथ आश अश्रु मुखे करीते लागिला दंडपात. When the Lord of Vaikuntha saw Advaitacharya in the distance, he offered the obeisances with the tears in his eyes. So Lord of Vaikuntha, Gaurang Mahaprabhu, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, when he saw Advaitacharya from the distance, he offered obeisances because he was with tears in his eyes. He was very emotional, and to see the entire group coming from Navadipa, and because he saw his favorite Advaitacharya, he also offered his obeisances. So very beautifully written, Vaikunthanatha. श्री अद्वैत दूरे देखी निज प्राणनाथ पुनः पुनः हैते लागिला पुनः पुनः हैते लागिला प्रणिपात. Similarly, when Sri Advaita saw the Lord of his life in the distance, he offered repeated obeisances. Now, in the next verse, we are seeing the Ashtasattvic Vikar coming out. Ashru Kampa Sweda Murcha Pulaka Hunkara Dandavata Bai Kichu Nahi Dekhi Ara. So, Ashru Kampa Sweda Murcha Pulaka Hunkara. Tears of love, Kampa shivering, Sweda perspiration, Murcha fainting, Pulaka hair standing on the end, Hunkara loud of roaring, and offering obeisances was all that could be seen at that time. So people, all the both the groups, the devotees in both the groups were displaying all these symptoms. The Ashtasakti Vikar, Ashru, Kampa, Sweda, Murcha, Pulaka, Hunkara. Two of them have not been mentioned in this, just six have been mentioned. So there is one more very beautiful bhajan written by Narottam Das Thakur. That is the first bhajan of the book Lalasamai Pranati. Gauranga bolite hobe pulaka sharira. So when will the time come when the moment I utter or hear the word of Gauranga, I will be having the hairs on my body will be standing on their end. So the word pulaka is very beautifully written over here. दुई गोष्ठी दंडवत केवा करे करे सबेई चैतन्य रसे विह्वल अंतरे. Although the two groups of devotees offered their obeisance to one another, no one knew who was offering obeisance to whom, because they are all absorbed in Lord Chaitanya's loving mellows. So here we see that there are two groups. The two groups are offering obeisances to each other. That is what we are reading over here. But for them, they didn't know they didn't know to whom are they offering their obeisances, because they were all so much in ecstasy. They were so much in ecstasy that they were just offering obeisances. And generally, whenever we are at the like in the start of devotional practice, we have seen that the first thing that we study is Vaishnavachar. So in Vaishnavachar, how to dress, how to put a tilak, how to eat, what pranam mantras to say, and then how to greet devotees. So initially, when we were in BHU, I remember that there was a time when we had to give this the seniors were telling us about the Vaishnavachar to our group. We were freshers at that point of time, and there was a camp which was organized, which was to be organized in a span of 1 week. It was called as DYS camp, Discover Yourself camp. So they mentioned that other colleges, other students from other colleges will also be coming to the camp, and we have to basically show Vaishnavachar, we have to show Vaishnav etiquettes to each other. So the same thing happened, but not because of ecstasy. We were just offering obeisances, And it was very funny because the senior most devotee in the group, he had to come and he had to say that please stop, it's over. That but offering one obeisance is over, because the moment you offer one obeisance, you are offering it to everyone. Because if, say for example, if there are 20 people coming from the other side, you cannot offer 20 times obeisances. So here also we are seeing that no one knew who was offering obeisances to whom, because they were all absorbed in Lord Chaitanya's loving mellows. की बा छोट की बा बड़ ज्ञानी व अज्ञानी दंडवत करी सबे करे हरि ध्वनि. Whether a junior or a senior, learned or not, they all chanted the names of Hari and offered obeisances. So here we see that there is no junior or senior, there is no learned or not learned. Uh, a Vaishnava is above these dualities. So, and a Vaishnava is supremely humble as well. So, if we see a Vaishnava, we should be offering obeisances, and the other Vaishnava, because he is so humble, he or she may be so humble, they also offer obeisances without seeing that whether it's a junior or a senior. ईश्वर ईश्वरो करे न भक्त संगे दंडवत Advaitadi Prabhu O करे न सेई मत. The Lord also offered his obeisances along with devotees, and Advaita Acharya did likewise. Mahaprabhu, Nityananda, and Advait Prabhu reciprocated with all the devotees by offering them obeisances. Such pure dealings based on transcendental literatures are not found in the non-devotee Smartha community. So here, the commentary, it is written that we don't see such kind of pure dealings, such unalloyed dealings based on transcendental literatures. This is not just whimsical, it's all based on Shastras. So it is not found in the non-devotee Smartha communities. Non-devotee Smartha community, it will be all aupcharik, it will be just regulative. There will be no rasa in it. It is a very so all that karma kind philosophy that we see, people just participate in those pujas or those community gatherings, and there is no relishment. What the kind of relishment that a devotee in a Vaishnava culture experiences, that is million times more than whatever they are experiencing in the Aupcharik way of life. And here we also see that the Lord is also offering his obeisances to the devotees. So someone might accuse that that the Sanatan Dharma is propagating the differences in communities. No, it is not, because Vaishnava is more than a Brahmana. We have seen Mataji has told this n number of times, that a Vaishnava is above all these dualities, all these kinds of sectarian mentalities. It is not to be taken into the Vaishnava community, because in Vaishnava community, everyone, whether a junior or a senior, whether learned or not learned, they all are chanting names of Hari, and we see this even in our Guru Parampara. We have seen how Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who is a Pandita, who has written commentaries on Surya Siddhanta, on astronomy, on science, on astronomical sciences. He is such so learned. But when he approached his guru, Gaur Kishore Dada Babaji Maharaj, ba on the comparative basis, on the material comparative scale, Gaur Kishore Babaji Maharaj was basically not learned, not as learned as Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur. But we see that Bhakti Siddhanta Thakur, he knew the spiritual strength, the spiritual learnedness of his guru, and that is why he approached. So in the Vaishnava community, there is the person might seem to be not learned, the person might seem to be a junior, but we never know what were the various kinds of past life impressions, because that person, a small devotee, a junior devotee, junior to ourselves in age, you might feel that okay, ये तो अभी चालू कर रहा है, ये तो डिवोशन अभी चालू कर रहा है, बट पिछले लाइफ से कौन सा डिवोशन लेकर आया है, वो वी नेवर नो. So in the devotional community, in the Vaishnava community, everyone offers obeisances to each other, just to acknowledge that yes, we are seeing a Vaishnava. एई मत दंडवत करीते करीते दुई गोष्टी एकत्र मिलीला भाले भालामते भालमते एई मत दंडवत करीते करीते दुई गोष्टी एकत्र मिलीला भालमते. After offering obeisances in this way, the two groups of devotees merged together and exchanged greetings. So we have seen from the 62nd verse, there has been the systematic description of the Lord is approaching Atharanala. At Atharanala, he has seen devotees, the two groups have seen each other, and from the 63rd verse onwards, right up to the 72nd verse, we have been seeing there is a very proper description on just obeisances. 10 verses only on obeisances. Vrindavan Das Thakur could have just said, yes, they offer obeisances and then they met. So they could have skipped those 10 verses. But no, Vrindavan Das Thakur has ensured that he has written 10 verses to basically tell us the importance of offering obeisances. The moment we see a Vaishnava, we have to offer obeisances, and it is mandatory, because here we are seeing our Lord offering obeisances. So if Lord is offering obeisances, what is the problem that we have to offer obeisances? So, if we are not able to display those symptoms like Ashru, Sweda, Kampa, Pulaka, Murcha, or Hunkara, at least the least that we can do is offering obeisances. And while offering obeisances, the mood that has to be followed is there is no one junior nor senior, there is no learned or unlearned. The person to whom we are offering obeisances is a Vaishnava, that itself is enough. So now that the offering of obeisances has been done, the two group of devotees have merged together and exchanged greetings. एखाने ये हैल आनंदद एखाने ये हैल आनंद दर्शन उच्च हरि ध्वनि उच्च आनंद क्रंदन. At that place, the devotees joyfully met each other and loudly chanted the name of Hari with crying while crying in ecstasy. मनुष्य की पारे इहा करीते वर्णन सबे वेद व्यास आर सहस्र वदन. A human being cannot possibly describe all of this. Only Veda Vyasa and Ananta Shesha are able. And we know that Vrindavan Das Thakur is Veda Vyasa. He is the incarnation of Veda Vyasa. I guess there are two incarnations, Veda Vyasa and one more. So let's see this. There are Vrindavan Das Thakur. Yeah. So Vrindavan Das Thakur is the partial incarnation of Vedavyasa and Kusumapida Sakha. So the Sakha of Lord Kusumapida Sakha and Vedavyasa both have incarnated together as Vrindavan Das Thakur. So here it is written, Vedavyas in the form of Vrindavan Das Thakur himself is writing that a human cannot possibly describe all of this. It is only Vedavyasa or Anantashesha who have been empowered by the Lord. So one is the literary incarnation, the Shakti Avesh Avatar, and other is Lord himself. Only they are able to describe all of this. So, in the 73rd verse, ekhane ye haila ananda darshane ucha hari dhvani ucha ananda krandana. So, we know that the kind of emotion that we feel when we are participating or we are leading the Harinam Sankirtan, it is very overwhelming. There is like there are no words to explain the kind of joy that one experiences when, especially in Harinam Sankirtan, when the pace picks up and the names of Lord are being chanted at a very higher pace, and then we go into the Haridhwani where we say Jaya Radha Govinda Radhe, especially when we say Nitai Gaur Hari Bol. So the kind of feeling that we feel, it is there are no words in any language which can describe this. So and we see that devotees relish Harinam Sankirtan because this is the Yuga Dharma. The loud chanting, the congregational chanting and loud chanting of Lord, the names of Hari is the Yuga Dharma. And if we are performing Yuga Dharma, we will get appropriate results. The Lord will reciprocate in the appropriate way. So from 17th, from tomorrow onwards, we have got the World Harinam Sankirtan Week, and there will be Harinam taking place all over the world for this 1 week from 17th to 26th. And here in Nagpur as well, there are on different days, different groups are leading the Kirtan. I guess on the weekend, a grand Sankirtan is going to take place. You can also check whether in Mumbai there is a Sankirtan or not. If there is no Sankirtan, we can do Sankirtan in our Devasthanam. So only by the names of Lord Hari we will be able to please Lord, and by congregational chanting and loud chanting we'll be able to please Lord. So next verse. अद्वैत देखिया प्रभु लईले न कोले सिंचिले न अंगतान प्रेमानंद जले. Seeing Advaita, the Lord embraced him and soaked him with tears of ecstatic love. श्लोक पढ़ी अद्वैत करे न नमस्कार हईले न अद्वैत आनंद अवतार. Advait Prabhu appeared to be the incarnation of bliss as he recited a verse while offering obeisances to the Lord. So, which is the verse? Is the verse given over here? No, I think it would be, it is not given over here. Okay. Maybe in Chaitanya Chaitamrita, that verse could have been given. So, Shloka Padi Advaita Karena Namaskara Hailena Advaita Ananda Avatara. So, he must have recited a verse, maybe the Pranam Mantra of Gaurang Mahaprabhu. यत सज्ज आनिचिल प्रभु पूजी बारे सब द्रव्य पासरीला किछु नाही स्फुरे. He completely forgot about whatever items he had brought for worshipping the Lord. Because the kind of reciprocation that he was getting from the Lord was so overwhelming that and the sight of Lord himself is so overwhelming that everyone forgets whatever they have thought. So there are temples, there's a temple in South where uh, before entering the Garbhagriha, so Kamalashan Prabhuji was telling this story to me, and we have seen that as well practically. There, the Lord is in the form of Kala, and it is the universal time, not the time which kills, but the time as universal time. So there the Lord is in the form of Kala, and the various gopuras. So the vimana on top of the gopura, in that temple especially, it has been designed in a way that whatever be your mood outside the temple, the moment you enter the temple, the kind of vimana that has been placed over there, it automatically resets your mind so that it basically makes you more. Your mind more amenable towards the taking darshan of the Lord. So, and I was not able to believe this, so I told Kamalashan Prabhu that let's see this. So I had a long list of requests that I want this, I want that, I want this, and it so happened that that when we got down from the bus, we were walking. We had to walk some length, and there were two cows who were like fighting on the road, and one of the cows started coming towards me, and I got like just to like avoid getting harmed by the horns, I had to just take some other way, and I stepped on some cow dung or something like that, and I completely forgot what I had thought. I washed my legs outside the temple, then I entered the temple, then we took darshan, and then after coming out, Prabhuji asked, "Did you ask?" And I forgot. So this is how uh, even nowadays, whenever you go to take the darshan of the Lord, whenever we go to take the darshan of the Lord, we have to approach the Lord with certain mood. And temples are designed in a way, the architecture of the temple is designed in a way that the mood of the Lord and the kind of mood the devotee should have towards taking the darshan of the Lord, they are properly met. So that was the kind of knowledge that we had uh, in Sanatan Dharma. The kind of temples, not all temples are same. Any temple, you can take any temple. There are different shailis of making temples. So you can see the the northern shaili of having temple of making temples, the middle India shaili, the eastern shaili, the western shaili, and the various kinds of temples in the south. So there are so many different shailis, and even in one shaili, the temples are not the same. The overall structure might be looking the same, but the internal structure. So when we go to Varadaraj Perumal, so at Kanchipuram, when we go to Varadaraj Perumal, all the temple is on the ground floor, but there is a very long staircase, and we have to take the staircase, and from the bottom of the staircase, all we are able to see is the palm of the Lord saying Ma Sucha. And when you go and take darshan, oh, what beautiful deities. So, the temples are designed in a way that the devotee's mind is the person who's coming and visiting the temple, the mind is properly trained so that the mind is now properly placed to take the darshan of the Lord. And here we are seeing that when we take darshan of the Lord, we completely forget whatever we had in the mind ourselves. आनंद अद्वैत सिंह करे न हुंकार आनी लूना लीनु बलि डाके बार बार. In great happiness, the lion like Sri Advaita loudly roared and repeatedly exclaimed, I brought you, I brought you. So here, Amritacharya is showing those ecstatic symptoms, and in a way, we are seeing that he is exclaiming very out loud that I have brought you, I have brought you. हेनो से हैल अति उच्च हरि ध्वनि लोका पूर्ण हैल हेन अनुमानी. At that point, the loud vibration of the holy name of the Lord filled the entire universe. वैष्णवेर कीदाय अज्ञान यत जना अज्ञान यत जना ताहारा ओ हरि बोले कर ये क्रंदन. What to speak of the Vaishnavas? Even the fools cried and chanted the names of Lord Hari. So in the purport, it is written, there are two classes of people in this world, the Vaishnavas and the fools. Those who are averse to the devotional service of Hari are fools, and those servants of Hari who are averse to material enjoyment are Vaishnavas. Although every living entity is by nature a Vaishnava, there are nevertheless divided into two classes, those who are inclined to the Supreme Lord and those who are averse to him. So very beautifully it is written, the first two lines tells us that we have to be aware of our status of what we are. Do we consider ourselves to be a Vaishnava? If we are not a Vaishnava, we are automatically a fool. So who is a fool? Those who are averse to devotional service of Hari. And by devotional service of Hari, it also extends to his devotees. So the service to the Lord and service to devotees are not different. They are one and the same. So who are averse to devotional service of Hari are basically fools. And those servants of Hari who are now serving Hari, who are averse to material enjoyment, are Vaishnavas. So we could be a fool who is not serving Hari. We could be a person who is not serving Hari, we could be a fool. Now, we could think that we are serving Hari, but we also want material enjoyment. Then we should not count ourselves as Vaishnava. We are automatically a fool. Now, although now very beautifully in the purport, it is written that there are two kinds of people. So now the community may say, the general community may say, now see how Vaishnavas are. They are putting people in classes. You are calling yourselves as Vaishnava and others as fools. No, the next line says, although every living entity is by nature a Vaishnava, because all living entities are parts and parcels of Lord. The Atma is the Anu of Paramatma, and by nature the Atma is Satchitananda. And by the Atma, all the Atma, all living entities are by nature a Vaishnava. But nevertheless, there are two divisions, those who are inclined and those who are averse. So in this life, whoever is not inclined towards Supreme Lord, there might be one lifetime that soul might gather enough sukirti so that lifetime, that soul may make it a chance to get inclined towards Supreme Lord. And that is the reason why Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has explicitly told us to loudly chant the names of Hari and to perform Sankirtan. Because by doing Sankirtan, by doing the loud congregational chanting, we will be able to basically propagate that the name of Lord to within this entire environment. And whoever, whatever, whichever condition that the living entity may be, if the sound falls, the living entity gets a chance to perform Sukirti. And that Sukirti performed in this life by just by hearing automatically transpires in the next lifetime and gives a chance for the living entity to perform more devotion. That is why in the Navavidha Bhakti, the first and the foremost is Shravanam. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So the first verse, the first process is Shravanam. And if we now we have seen we know this from from our schooling that there are two kinds of functions a body performs. There are some voluntary functions, there are some involuntary functions. So for example, to move my hand, I have to voluntarily tell my arms to get up and then move like this. But hearing is involuntary. You like it or you don't like it, the words, if you are not deaf and if those sensors, those nerves are working, they will propagate the signal to your brain. And it doesn't matter, we have seen this in Prabhupada's example, it doesn't matter that whatever sound you're hearing, you should be able to define or describe the sound's meaning. Not necessary. So when asked, Prabhupada used to say that Hare Krishna Mahamantra is a transcendental sound vibration. So you know it, you know the meaning of Hare, you know the meaning of Krishna, or you don't know it. It doesn't matter. It's involuntary. Shravanam is involuntary. The sound comes, it hits your eardrum, it goes through the auditory nerves to your brain. And the moment that thing falls on your ear, you get the Sukirti. Now, only after doing Sukirti, the next process, Kirtanam, from there, everything is voluntary. So Shravanam is involuntary. The entry pass is involuntary. But next, all the 8 other Kirtanam, Vishnu, Smaranam, Pada Sevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So the last one, Atma Nivedanam, that too is involuntary because if a soul performs Shravanam, that is one diametrically opposite end of the spectrum that we are seeing. And the spectrum where the soul is averse, but because of Shravanam, that soul has got some Sukirti. Now, Kirtana, from there onwards, all the steps are voluntary. But now, the last step that we are seeing, Sakhyam, Atma Nivedanam. So, Atma Nivedanam, automatically that spontaneous loving devotion will arise and automatically you will give everything to Lord. So that automatically becomes involuntary. So the first and last are involuntary, and all the rest in between is voluntary. So here we see that what to speak of Vaishnavas, even fools cried and chanted the name of Hari because the transcendental sound vibration was so beautiful that everyone, whoever was there in that sabha, were uh, able to, yes, Prabhuji, were able to chant. So I think we can end now. From tomorrow's class, we can start. Mataji has going to give class. So whenever she starts, you can ask her to start from verse number 81. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhuji.
Thank you,
Wonderful
Mataji.
class.
Amazing class,
David
Pooja.
Pranam.
Thank you, Mataji. Thank you, Prabhu.
Hare
वाञ्छाकल्पतरुभ्यश्च
Krishna.
कृपा सिन्धुभ्येव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमः। अनन्तकोटि वैष्णववृन्द की जय, श्री प्रभुपाद की